Everett Golson is transferring from Notre Dame.
Former Marquette basketball player Deontay Burton has made his transfer decision.
A UNC star stuns everyone by transferring.
The rate of players leaving Division I programs jumped to more than 13% last year. Football and track athlete Deron Williams transferred to Tennessee State University. Williams was on the Iowa State football team for 3 seasons, but lack of playing time forced him to look elsewhere.
I have quite a few friends who transfer, and it's mostly for the same reason, not getting enough playing time or problems with the coaches, or just the lack of communication between coaches and players as to why things are the way they are.
Sports journalist Stu Durando says the NCAA publishes a guide each year called Transfer 101 to aid athletes who plan to move from one school to another. At Iowa State, Deron Williams stayed a year longer than he wanted. He has NFL aspirations and did not feel he was in a position to reach those goals. Williams transferred to get more playing time to showcase his skills via actual game video to NFL scouts.
Barely playing at Iowa State was not going to get me there, where I could transfer to Tennessee State and be a starter and have a lot of film.
Evidence of increased transfer traffic? While Iowa State lost a football player, it gained a transfer in basketball.
The sophomore from Milwaukee, Wisconsin is headed to Iowa State to play.
While Williams wound up at TSU, the athletic director at Tennessee State, Teresa Phillips, says students often transfer for family or personal reasons, but athletes transfer because they are not having the success they sought on the court or field. Phillips warns many don't realize the grass is not always greener.
We've found, if you really look at the statistics, that these same young men and women who transfer often really struggle when they go to the second institution. You take yourself and your same problems to another spot. Unless you deal with those issues and problems, then you're still going to experience them at the second location.
TSU sports journalism professor Tommy Boris says because scholarships are renewable from year to year, many college athletes now feel like professional free agents. He adds, if a coach leaves or a player doesn't like the system, the athlete should have the option to go somewhere else. Boris says the rules for students versus student athletes are different.
But if a student wants to transfer, he or she can pick up right away, enroll in another school, another state even, and pick up right where they left off. But for a college athlete, he or she's got to get permission from the school and then even tell them where they can and cannot go.
Some athletes will transfer, moving down a level in competition in order to play. Many schools, like Tennessee State and its athletic director, Teresa Phillips, believe that makes sense for the student who has good academic standing at the previous school and is just looking to succeed.
Those are the ones who successfully can transfer. But when you see some of the other marks, and I call them marks, in that case, often that young man or woman is just running and trying to get a fresh start.
The National Freshman of the Year in women's college basketball is transferring.
Vanderbilt University athletic director David Williams says he has seen more transfer activity in recent years. He says one downside to transferring within Division I is many students have to sit out a year in football or basketball.
If someone wants to transfer here and, say, play women's soccer, they can play immediately. There is no sitting out. It is not as much a deterrent as it used to be.
Dr. Rich Tyner offers his perspective as a faculty member, sports announcer, and faculty athletic representative at Belmont University.
I'm not as concerned about the problems in competition, maybe as some people are, but I can certainly see some problems on the academic side. For one thing, you get into problems of eligibility with progress toward degree.
Golson will be eligible immediately because he graduated this semester.
There is a transfer rule that if you graduated from an institution and have eligibility remaining, you have another year to play and do so in graduate school. TSU Athletic Director Teresa Phillips refers to this using the professional term free agent within the college ranks.
And I put quote unquote grad school and play a year. Well, often these people just go and transfer to these institutions to play that year. They're not interested in going to grad school. And so it's just a masquerade for playing another year of college ball.
Vanderbilt AD David Williams says the transfer options do not allow students to work out a situation.
It's kind of like, well, I'm not happy here, I'm not playing here, so I'll just leave. Where at some point in time, you're going to run out of those options. And I'm the first one to admit every place is not the right place for everybody. But I would like to see a little bit more. Let me try to stick it out and see if I can get through this.
TSU football player Deron Williams weighed all of this and made his choice.
I had to make a decision for myself and what I wanted to do with my life.
I'm Terry Likes. You're listening to Tennessee Matters on the Tennessee Radio Network.